I opened the door to the world of Psychobilly recently here on the channel, hearing The Living End for the first time. And while genre lines are always a little blurred by subjectivity, you guys were like, no. Tiger Army is where you need to be for Psychobilly, so let's check them out. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Low End University. Today I'm hearing the track Pain for the first time, which is from the band's fourth studio album, Music from Regions Beyond, released in 2007. And this album was produced by Jerry Finn, which is a name I see come up a lot in the comments. And his tenure as a producer apparently had a really massive impact on the scene back then. This band was even picked up by Tim from Rancid off of their first EP, signed to his Hellcat label at the time, so this seems like a really obligatory band to get to on the channel. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Pain by Tiger Army.
In your chest until sometimes it gets so hard to breathe. Sometimes the chest won't go away and you start to feel you'll never live. And when you think back on those times, it seems so close, just beyond your reach. But the past vanishes
Here, E minor
from a cigarette in the night breeze.
I like that. Oh my God, that's catchy. Woo. That chorus got me. That's catchy as hell. And you ever have those songs where I've never heard this song before, but sometimes you hear a new song and it reminds you of another song you like, and you don't know exactly which one it is, but it just kind of like taps into that visceral response. Something about that chorus did that. Really catchy. Okay, let's talk about the bass just for a second. We're here in E minor. I can hear the double bass. I know that's a signature part of the psychobilly, punk rockabilly. I've got a lot to learn with this subgenre as well. And I'm still unsure what makes something psychobilly. I guess we'll find out as we go. But the double bass, it's stand out. The last two bands I've done in this sort of scene, The Living End and now Tiger Army, they keep that authentic double bass sound present. It's very loud, it's very noticeable. And the thing I like about it is that you could use an electric bass on this song and it would be just as good of a song. But something about the double bass gives it a completely different drive and energy. And I talked a lot about this in the Living End video, where a double bass has a pretty quick transient. It dies off pretty quick, so you get this kind of doom, 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 doom. You kind of get that kind of sound versus an electric bass, which is just me, kind of a different thing. And I like that he's walking the arpeggios, tastefully placing them at the end of phrases to really bring it back. Really poppy progression, E, C, G, and then he does the walking arpeggio on the D. Really good. And then that chorus came in and just kind of distracted me. I want to hear that again. The vocals were fantastic.
From a cigarette
okay.
In the night breeze. Please stop this.
Damn.
But for so long. But for so long I felt
Let's see. That's just a damn good melody, y'all. And what I like about those kinds of melodies is when they hang on just one or two notes like that, the chords changing under it recontextualize the way the melody fits into the chord. So I think it starts on E, and he's kind of going between G and F sharp. You know, whatever it goes down to. But when he's on E, you kind of have this sound. And then when he's on C, and I love that kind of melody crafting to where you're just hanging on a couple notes, the chords changing under it, and it just gives each note of the melody a completely different context as it goes around. So these are the two notes. Whatever that thing, but just the way it goes between the chords. It just has that bit of a dissonant rub, and technically there is a tritone happening because when he goes to that F sharp, it's over the C. Kind of makes it that Lydian sound on the 4 of the chord. So just something that really grabbed me. Once again, really good off the bat. Let's keep it going.
I felt this way for so long.
So long. That's really good. Ooh. Oh my God. A tremolo whammy there in the guitar. Oh, this is fun.
It's come and gone. Since the time that everything was right, and now it just feels wrong.
This is the perfect tempo for that sound. This song actually reminds me of another songwriter I randomly was introduced to. Irish singer, Scottish, Amy MacDonald. She had that really big song many years ago. Like 2010s, like This Is the Life. I remember really liking that song just because the bass was kind of like this. A completely random thing to pull out of my brain, but it reminds me of just the pacing and the groove. And again, this would be a whole different thing without those double bass tropes. Just really strong on the 1s and the 3s. Whew, that's good.
Oh, so long. And you're still dreaming of the time when the day will come, it was meant to be. And you're still dreaming of the way to reach that place that you've never been. Please stop this.
Does it here?
But for so long.
Really walks it on the chorus here.
For so long, I felt this way for so long.
God, that's a good vocal melody. I'm not going to stop saying it. You know, what's fun is trying to get tones of songs I hear. You know, I go into these videos just with kind of the stock tone I always use. And I think it's always fun to just use what's at my disposal to try to imitate it. And I actually have a lesson here on the channel that talks about getting an upright sound. Just sort of a street musician thing if I'm in a pinch and I need it. So I figured I'd talk about it real quick. There's no way to get an upright sound, a double bass sound, completely perfectly on a bass. But in the context of a mix, you can kind of get close, something more appropriate. So hearing this tone, this is really electric bassy. So first thing I would do is go to my neck pickup, pluck over here. It has a lot to do with where you pluck. I'm going to pull the treble down a bit. I'm going to scoop the mids just a hair, kind of in the higher ranges, so I get that honky mid-range out. And I'm going to turn the bass up because you really want that kind of low-end, sub-end response to kind of come in and be a little behind the transient on the plucking of the note. So just making those changes. You really want to pluck up here because this is actually where an upright bass player would play if I were to kind of extrapolate, the proportions of where my hands are. You leave a little bit of that treble in to kind of get that woody kind of rattle on the fretboard. You know, this is all imitation, but it's what I would do. So let's keep it going. It's close, you know? That guitar is so dreamy. Ooh. Yeah, this production is fire. I haven't said it yet. Really clean. Okay. Little interlude here. Just 1-3-5 in it.
Good for so long. Good for so long. I felt this way for so long.
Whew, that was a good one, guys. This kind of has the hot water music effect where I have no idea what to expect, and the song just grabs me for whatever reason. It's a feeling I always am chasing. It really didn't sound much like The Living End, a bit more moody, kind of had an alt rock edge in a way. I did read that this was a single, so I'm sure they have more grittier stuff. You know, this was all about exploring the bands over time. But that song just, it was the right song at the right time today on a Wednesday when I'm filming it, whatever, it just grabbed me. The double bass was such a nice, nimble energy to everything. And I think the key takeaway here is how the double bass sound can drive a song like that, because there's lots of songs like this with just normal electric bass. So I'm loving that unique twist on the rhythm section and just the careful placements of when to walk the bass line. He really developed that line slowly. It started off just on the typical rockabilly, kept the walking arpeggios at the end of the phrases, kind of foreshadowing the energy that would later come in the choruses when he's kind of walking it the whole time. The tone was authentic, the approach and the trope stylistically was authentic, and just the song was incredibly written. This really surprised me. So that's my introduction to Tiger Army. Definitely want to come back. I'm going to remember this one a while. And thank you guys for letting me know of their existence. In fact, this band was recommended long before I did The Living End. So it's a name I've seen in the comments a lot. So if you've been waiting, thanks for your patience. But thank you guys for hanging out to me. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I think I'm kind of enamored by this one. If you want to support the channel further, come find us on Patreon. I do full album reactions on there. And you bet these guys will end up on the polls at some point. We vote on them each month. There's a lot of albums over there from the punk, skate punk. It's been a blast. And if you enjoyed this video while you're here, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I love you all. We'll see you next time.